Hi everyone, welcome to this free video playthrough for the current Legacy 9-hole cup in Golf Clash. Divisions on the screen that this video relates to. Please hit thumbs up, make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. Replays and adjustments for all 9 holes, timestamps in the description down below. Remember to keep checking the channel for plenty of tournament content and other stuff to help you in Golf Clash. Good luck, and remember, some of these shots may be the old ball attributes before they doubled in the game, so bear that in mind. The shots will still work absolutely fine. Good luck, here we go.
On this par 4, excellent opportunity playing down the left-hand side. Going to use a katana here. Obviously, if you are up in expert, I would recommend you use a kingmaker to cut the wind down. 5 bars of top spin, 1 bar side spin to the left. You can push this with a bit more top spin if you'd like. Obviously, if you do have straight tailwind, you would need to reduce the top spin slightly. But here I'm going medium distance, 20% elevation, aiming with the ball guide right down the middle of the fairway on the left. And I do believe the left side play does offer the best chance at the eagle with a short iron rough bump. So perfect ball here with our mid plus 20. We bounce over the rough and the bunkers nicely. And we're going to write down our drive distance here, because we will use that for the second shot. So here for a drive, 320 yards. Going to play with the runner, and I'm going with that because we do need top spin. So we're going to add our top spin, and also playing with max side spin to the left. Then we are going to aim at the pin. Obviously, different levels of runner are going to have different ball guide. So if you've got a higher level short iron, we maybe could use the Hornet as well with more ball guide. You will have to obviously judge according to the ball guide stat you have. But we are going to aim at the pin with our top spin and left spin. Then here I'm playing 80% slider, 10% elevation. That is due to this wind angle only. If you've got different wind angles, the slider values will vary. Tutorial videos on using the slider and club range available on the Academy tutorial playlist on the channel homepage. Perfect ball away, and this one drops right at pin. So a runner, top spin shot, or the Hornet, excellent chance for an eagle on this par 4. On this par 3, if we do have tailwind, we're going to play with the sniper, but any headwind angle we can go with a quarterback rough bump. Applying spins as shown, we're going to set up in the rough, and we're going to have the ball guide going through the hole. That's because we do have headwind angle. We want to compensate for the wind push, and the actual compressed flight of the ball will get according to what is shown. Here I'm playing this one max plus 10. Once we've adjusted, we actually push up 1 ring, and that's because we adjust from a higher point to a lower point and we lose distance on our shot. So if you do not push up here, you will hit the rough too near to the tee, as in further away from the green, and you will lose distance. That's why we do need to push up in this wind angle. Perfect ball away, and this does have an excellent chance of going in. Lovely smooth green, and we drop it right at the pin on this par 3. Par 5 now. Obviously, if you are playing an expert and you do have this wind angle, you will have more wind strength than shown here, as this is from pro, in which case you can send it with max topspin, max overpower, and try and get over the stream and the rough down the fairway for a long iron approach. But if you don't have the wind strength for it or don't fancy it, then lay up. Blue ring touching the rough there with the quarterback 10 at max power 5. And then we are using obviously the quarterback for the wonderful ball guide and accuracy. Max plus 10 is the adjustment here. No need to get giddy with the top spin. Just tap it down safely to lay up towards the end of the fairway. Obviously we don't want to risk the rough. If you do find the rough here, you're not going to be able to reach green in 2. So, reason we're using a berserker is really for the second shot, so we can still use the sniper rather than big dog or cataclysm, because we want ball guide to try and play aggressively. Between 5.5 and 6 top spin, 2 bars side spin to the right, and here I am having to stretch out ever so slightly, but that's fine, we can still work with that, and we're going to see the second bounce in the rough, and then the ball guide emerging from the rough, running down to the green and the pin. The adjustment here is maximum distance, 5% elevation, max plus 5. And because I was stretching out, I am going to push up the amount of rings that I was needed to find my landing position. So obviously if you do have slightly longer on your drive, you won't need to stretch out and push up, but obviously if you are shorter, then you will need to do that, otherwise you will come in short. Perfect ball away, and the ball bounces in the rough second time very nicely, and we just missed this one a little bit too high, so a fraction too giddy on the push-up, but still a very decent chance. Two options here on this par 3. Slight headwind angle, we're going to play with the quarterback from the minimum distance line with a power 3 ball. Playing with 2 bars of left spin and just under max backspin, around 6 to 6.2 bars of backspin. So you do need quarterback 10 for this one. Setting up there, you can see with the ball guide aiming at the pin, and we've got to find a decent way to adjust here. Zoom in as much as you need to so you can see your rings clearly. Here I'm playing minimum distance, 15% elevation, power 2 settings. Minimum distance, 15% elevation, power 2 settings. Unfortunately I do hit a minor great right, but this one is still going to come in okay, and obviously a perfect would have been right at the pin in my opinion, but that is the type of shot we'll play in headwind. Any form of tailwind, I would go with the sniper, but if you don't fancy the quarterback, you can still play with sniper before the bunker. So going with a bit of top spin, 3 bars side spin to the left. Now we're setting up a little bit closer to the sand here. If you do have tailwind angle, I would suggest you set up a little bit further back, probably with the top of the white ring touching the bunker, and then using a little bit more top spin. In the video here I'm playing mid distance, 20% elevation. Sometimes if you've got wind the other way, you are going to adjust uphill, which is going to add distance, so that's why I would suggest, especially in wind from right to left, that you would set up a little bit further back. You don't want to career directly into the bunker. Perfect ball away with our mid plus 20, and this one drops beautifully for a hole-in-one.
Please do join us over on Facebook. We have an ever-growing community of players there, over 16,000 members. Head over to Facebook, search for BK Golf Clash and submit your member request there. Free to join, there are free guides posted, lots of shot sharing and discussion points. You can chat and interact with me as well, and loads more over on Facebook. So head over there and search for BK Golf Clash.
Layup option here for nasty wind angles, no target with the rock and a power 3 ball. Playing with 2.5 bars of backspin here, we're going to lay up on the right for a second shot with our sniper. Obviously if you do have a decent amount of tailwind, then by all means we should be playing aggressive on the left hand side with a berserker and as much topspin as possible. Those shots are going to be more feasible in expert rather than pro due to higher wind speeds. Adjustment here is max plus 10. No curl, no overpower, just hit perfect. Using the rock for accuracy, and once again ball guide. And this one is going to approach the top left corner of the fairway nicely. Drive distance to 75. Second shot here, we are going to go with a rough bump. Now here, although I am near minimum distance of club, I'm still going to play mid numbers here because that's the adjustment that's working very nicely. In fact, I'm setting up at the minimum distance line first of all, and then just pushing up a few rings to try and find a consistent landing position. 4.5 top spin and between 1 and 1.5 bars side spin to the left. It will vary depending on your drive, so just find a consistent spot in the rough where the ball guide doesn't glitch. Here I'm playing 1-on-1, is mid plus 10 power 3, so 5.2 in wind is 5.2 rings. Then we are going to take our shot, perfect ball away, and there is a nice little route down from the rough here. As long as you get that consistent landing position, very very good opportunity for an eagle, even though we are laying up and playing with a sniper. Now on this par 5 we do need curl because we do have severe dogleg to the right. Playing with the quarterback, 2.5 top spin, 3 bars side spin to the right, setting up at max with the blue ring, touching the rough on the right. Medium distance, 10% elevation is what we play here. Medium distance plus 10. Then we're going to go with 2 balls of curl to the right. There are some slice shots you can play here, and if you do have strong tailwind you can gamble and go straight ahead, but you will need a good wind speed and plenty of topspin. So this is a hole where most of the time you are going to be settling for the eagle, but there is a chance of an albatross even with this play. Checking club distance by putting the bullseye over the edge of the bunker, doing a sand check here because this was from tournament play, and then adding spin so the bullseye is pointing at the hole but stopping a little bit short. Reason for that is we do have tailwind angle and the green does slope downhill towards the beginning of the green and also to the pin, so we don't want to come in too hot and risk the rough. Here I'm playing with the sand check values that I was dialing in. It is between medium and maximum distance, 15% elevation. Be careful, in certain wind angles you will adjust and lose the ball guide if the trees are in the way, so if that is the case, do play with some curl so that you're not clipping any of the trees.
If you are enjoying the free content here on the channel and want to help out and keep everything free, then please consider making a small donation. All donations are gratefully received and help me out here on the channel, as all of the content here is produced for free in my own spare time. You can do that in one of 3 ways. You can hit the thanks button here on YouTube, you can make a PayPal donation via the link in the description down below, or you can also join us over on Patreon. Details at the end of the video.
Par 4 here, and another excellent opportunity for an eagle. We do need topspin. 6 topspin, 3 bars side spin to the right. Katana is fine in pro. In expert I would use a kingmaker. Setting up there with the bullseye comfortably away from the rough. Then we are going to adjust max +5 using power 2 settings as I'm using a katana. 3/4 of the ball curl to the right. Minor great right is still going to be fine with Thor's hammer. And we bounce nicely and comfortably before the end of the rough, and we roll very nicely indeed. Here we can use yardage notes, so 340 yards in this wind angle, going to be playing with the short iron of course, and we are playing 25% elevation according to drive distance. It is going to be between 75 and 90% slider, but obviously with different wind angles you're going to be playing different elevations or different percentages, so this is one where it's useful to take a practice token or 2 first just to dial in what you might need to do with the short iron shot. Very good chance though for an eagle. If you don't want to dial in with drive distance, my recommendation will be to play true club distance, either 15 or 20% elevation. Tracking beautifully and drops lovely eagle on this par 4. A very tough par 3 to get consistency on here. This is a no movement target approach with snipe and kingmaker, so don't touch the target until you adjust your rings. 3 backspin and it's just over half a bar side spin to the left. Very difficult to get consistent bounces here and a consistent route to the pin, so if you do drop this one it is a real bonus. The adjustment here is max +15 power 2 settings, max +15 power 2 settings. No movement target, so it does make it nice and simple in terms of finding landing position. We do hit perfect, coming in nicely but just going to miss on the right hand side, but nice to get a zoom in on this very tricky par 3. Now here we do have cross tailwind, going to play with the quarterback for the curl. Obviously APOC is also a very good club here because we do need plenty of curl to the left. We want to try and get onto that small patch of fairway you can see on the left hand side. So playing with 3 bars of left spin, katana or kingmaker, and then we're going with a little bit of top spin as well. Don't go too giddy on the top spin, you can get an occasional glitch roll here on this shot which takes you to the rough, which is something we don't want to do. Maximum distance 0% elevation, and then with the quarterback here level 10, I'm going with full curl to the left. Hitting perfect, and we bounce comfortably away from the rough, nicely over the rough there, and it rolls along the fairway, and we're not risking the glitch roll here. 320 yards. Second shot, there's a very nice route to the pin with a rough bump, so we are going to play with top spin and side spin to the right. Try and find a decent spot in the rough for your first bounce, and then get a nice route to the pin you can see it's not really a funnel, but the ball guide doesn't jut around too much. So it's a nice and steady landing position. Then we're going to play true club distance, 10% elevation. More information on that, as I said, on the Academy tutorials. Do check that out. So here playing 95% slider, 10% elevation, 2.5% per yard, and we were 2 yards away from max. Minor great ball, still going to hit the rough beautifully though, and we do come in nicely, but this is the shot you want to try and go for to get a good albatross to finish your round.
Thanks very much for watching this video here on the channel. If it has helped you in any way, please consider sharing it amongst your friends and clanmates in the game. Join us also on Facebook. Head over there, search for BK Golf Clash and join our free group. Loads of members there sharing shots. Free guides are posted, as well as loads of other great Golf Clash resources. So check us out there. You can join in the discussion and also leave feedback on the game in general. Finally, if you wish to help support the channel and keep the content free for everybody, please consider becoming a Patreon member. The link is in the video description down below. Good luck, see you soon, bye for now.